In this video, the McDonald's sign as seen on the screen will be created. This McDonald's sign is made using four quadratic equations which are given here. So the first thing I'm going to write these four equations which is already written on this calculator. After writing these four equations, I'm going to set the window of this calculator by pressing zoom and then select 6, which is a standard window. So I will press zoom and press 6. That is how these four equations are drawn. Now we have to shade the area between these parabolas. The shading instructions for these calculators are given here. We are going to first have the shading commands, and then we will write the shading instructions. The shading instructions is to have the first one has to be the lower function, then upper function, then x left, and then x right. Pattern and patterns are needed when you have a different design, like you don't want to shade the entire area as dark. So I'm going to have the first shading instructions here by pressing second, then draw or the program which is written here. So press second, and then you can see number 7 says shade, so I can scroll down or press 7 on the keypad. So this thing comes. Let me repeat this one more time. I have a clear window, so second, program or draw, and then press 7, then the shading instructions comes. Now I'm going to write the shading commands as given here. And the first one I'm using above y3, below y1 is starting from -10 and it stops at 0. So I'm going to write y3. We'll use the key which says vars here. Press vars, move to y vars, and press function which is 1. By default it is selected, so you just press enter and then select which function you want, and in this case it is y3, so I'm going to press 3 here. That comes here. This function has to be separated with a comma, and then it should be y1 as seen here. So again I will do vars, y vars, enter, and this time I'm going to use y1. So I will do that. After that I'm going to have the x left and x right. In this case x, the shading will start from -10, so I will have the comma which is going to separate this command from -10, and then again comma, which is very important, and then it will stop at 0. Now these are the complete shading commands. I can close the parenthesis, or even if I leave it open, it doesn't matter. Now if you close the parenthesis and when I press enter, it will shade the entire parabola. You can see that the area between the two curves had been shaded. Likewise, I am going to shade the other one, which is I can go back to second program, or by simply clicking clear button, it takes me back to the home screen, and I can copy and paste the last entry, which is second, enter. This whole thing comes back. In here I have to change the commands. The only commands is now the next set of parabolas is above y4. You see, this is the above function, the lower function, this is the upper function. So I'm going to have in here y4, which is given as command you can see is here. So I'm going to have vars, move to y vars, enter, and select 4. Separated with comma, and then again this function has to be y2 as seen here. So var, move to y vars, enter, and this time I will choose number 2. Now the shading is going to start from negative, this time is not from negative 10, rather it has to be from 0. So I can write the comma, or I can just move the cursor over to the right, and these the numbers in trees I have to delete. So I will delete negative and I will delete 1. So now I will move my cursor to this spot, and this number should be 10. So 1 and 0. I'm going to close the parenthesis in here. That is the shading command for the second sets of the parabola. If I press enter, it will shade the parabola completely dark. Now the equations, it is the 4 quadratic equations which has been shaded. Now I want to write in the middle just a McDonald, or if you want to write your name, you can do anything and make this McDonald sign more creative. I'm going to use this one now. The second draw, again I'm going to, whenever you are writing any text or anything, you can use the second draw program. Again, do the second and this program key, or it is on top, is draw, so you press second, and if I scroll down to 0, this is 7, then 8, 9, 10, and 0. 0 is the one where the text is, like in here is given, select 0. So if I'm going to select 0, the text comes and the cursor is in the middle. So I will place my cursor over to the place where I want to write the name, or if I want to write the McDonald or any message I want to write it, I can do it. So in here I'm going to place the cursor and I will write my name here. So I'm going to make this writing, when the writing starts, it should be alpha key on. So second alpha, and you can see there the alpha key is on. Now I can write any text. So I'm going to write, let us say Hussein, H, and then U, and then S, then A, then I, and N. So that is the, you can write your name, you can write McDonald, you can write any message you want to. Now I'm going to clear this alpha key by pressing clear, and I will, this one, the alpha key is gone. So that is my McDonald's sign, which is created on the graphing calculator. I can store this picture on the graphing calculator. So how I'm going to store it, which is given here, second draw. Again I'm going to press second program, and then I will move my cursor to store. So I will go here, store, and the number 1 stores the picture, and number 2 is used to recall the picture. So I'm going to go to number 1 and I will say enter, and then you have to type the place where you want to store the picture. As written here, you can store from 1 to 9 or 0. 0 is for number 10. So I'm going to use, let us say, number 2. So when I press this and press enter, this picture has been stored at number 2. So if I want to recall the picture, I can delete all these equations. So I will delete all these equations, and I will see my screen is clear. When I even press this, there is no McDonald's sign. But I am going to go back to my home screen, and I will go to second program I will go to second and then program, and I will go to store, and this time I am not trying to store but I am trying to recall the picture. So I will scroll down to recall the picture, press enter, and I have to type the number where the picture was stored. Like I will press 2 and enter, it will recall the picture which was stored. Based on this, you can create a lot of designs using different equations. You can use a linear equation, quadratic, cubic, trigonometric, and various combination also you can use. And hopefully you will see on the website that there are a lot of designs are being created. I hope you enjoyed this thing. Thanks.